You found the new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.
Hello, hello. Happy Sunday, everyone. And welcome to Tany Talks Live. Yay! Today on Tany Talks, we are talking about becoming an artist. You guys know I post a poll every week, and you guys pick the topic. And for this week, Tany Talks, you talk about becoming an artist. So what better than to have one of my really good artist friends come on Tany Talks Live to talk all about it. So I just want to shout out my girl, Amber Lee. You can find her on Instagram at amberlee.sings. Just wanted to ask, why music?
Why not music?
Why not music?
I am music.
I am music.
I've been singing as long as I could talk.
Mhm.
Singing. Music is a big part of my life. My parents are heavy on all genres of music. My grandfather is a musician, taught himself everything he knows. He has on those salsa band. He made albums. His favorite instrument was the violin.
Okay.
And this is a little story. It's not major. My dad doesn't run with it, but he was a lead singer in a rock band.
What?
For a couple of years.
No way.
Yeah, he was the lead singer in a rock band. It was him and his friends, cousins. And they were a little band. They used to go in the studios, record. They used to perform at all the street parties. And
that sounds really cool. What was the name of his band?
Yeah.
Tell me all about it. What's the band name?
It was called Savage Strawberries, and I was too young to know why they called it that.
Savage Strawberries?
I'm going to go back.
Dad?
Today, I'm going to ask him, yo, what was the reason for
that?
What was the reason? Because when I was little, they were like, y'all are too little for us to tell you. Okay.
Whoa.
Right.
So it's giving something freaky. Freaky deaky. BX in the building. Shout outs to Bam. Let me just give my my viewers some shout outs because everybody's on. Josh Music. Oh my God, I love her. You got fans.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Miss Lee. Purr.
Y'all love me? Oh my goodness.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to hear Amber's story about why she's pursuing music. She's actually one of my favorite unsigned artists. I think what makes you unique is your tone. You guys are going to hear a lot of her music today. So she has a very deep soulstress kind of vibe. And I feel like that's kind of not rare, but it's it's a tone that I like to hear. She has a deeper voice on the tracks, but it's very elegant, it gets sexy. I don't know, the deeper tones for me just give off
shoulder.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? So it gives off kind of sexy. So let me ask some really fun questions. So if you could choose 3 artists, major artists to collaborate with, who would it be and why?
All right, this is probably off the loop because nobody would expect it, but Musiq Soulchild.
Yay, we love Musiq Soulchild.
I love Musiq Soulchild. Musically, Musiq Soulchild. Alex Isley. Alex Isley is one of the Isley brothers' daughter, and
really?
She's one of the best R&B artists coming up. I don't think she's coming up. I think she's all the way there, but everybody's sleeping. And my last person, who was my last person? This might be, I never thought about it, but now that I'm thinking about it, I could get on a record with Coco Jones.
Coco Jones?
Yeah. I think I could see her.
Really interesting.
Yeah, she has shine she deserves now. That's why I definitely want to see her in the studio.
She has a really dope story. So tell me what your story is. I know everybody got a story behind the music. So what's your story behind the music?
Where do I start?
I know you was you've been singing since you were a while. I know you said you were a college dropout.
Yes.
So tell us more about that. Why did you drop out of college?
So I have been singing. I said I've been singing as long as I can talk. My parents started to put me in vocal lessons, and
really?
Yeah, I think it's important as a singer to practice, exercise your vocals daily.
Right.
But I was singing. I didn't even go to high school. Yeah, I didn't go to high school.
You didn't go to high school?
Went to high school, but I didn't go to a performing arts high school.
Okay.
So I didn't really get that much of an advantage, but I did go to a performing arts
high school.
See?
Yeah.
And those are all over the Bronx.
And even middle
school. A lot of people do attend school. I went to a Catholic school.
Oh, okay.
So,
the arts, they're more to religion than arts.
Wrong. But I went to a college. I went to Five Towns College in Dix Hills, Long Island, New York.
Okay.
Fun fact, I didn't really want to be an artist at first. I wanted to be a manager and an A&R.
Okay.
So I went in for music business. I started learning contracts and all the extra stuff, reading and writing music. But it was not easy. It was like Chinese, in fact. But everybody there had an advantage. They had went to school for music. The only thing I knew was being in the studio. I was introduced to like the full-on artistry of other people when I got to college, and just like
so college really like opened up
it. Yeah,
your
college
eyes.
really.
But then why did you drop out?
So that was the thing. So listen, I
Ever.
appreciate it, and I think that I get the job done. But like I look up to a lot of songwriters that I think are like top tier,
and that's
notch.
okay. But you know what? And I'm gonna tell you this now: you have to consider yourself as big as the people that you look up to.
Yeah.
We gotta stop in 2024. We gotta stop humbling ourselves and putting ourselves like we're not on big business. Okay, everything is big business. You know what I'm saying? I would never be like Tany Talks. It's just, no, Tany Talks is big business. You know what I mean? Amberly singing and her songwriting is big business. You know, we got to get into the habit of really like if we have to like believe in ourselves more.
Yeah.
Like you need to hype yourself up more than anybody. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to humble. I know you want to be humble because I know you.
I'm humble, but I'm also knowing like the fact that I learned from people, or I got the inspiration from people who are there. Like when it comes down to it, you got 45 minutes on the clock, it's done in 30. You feel me? And that's not always the case with me. So I'm not gonna knock myself, but I'm also gonna know.
Not to say that you aren't learning.
Experience. Yeah, exactly.
And you aren't growing, and there aren't things more skills that you could develop, but don't downplay your skills, baby girl.
Okay, I'm the baddest.
Period. Period and per. Also, if you guys have any questions that you wanted to ask Amber Lee, you guys could always type down on our Instagram and ask her any questions if you guys have, or any comments that you guys want to shout her out. That'll be really dope because then we can read off the comments here. I do want to read off some more comments because there was a lot
of people in here.
I love how angelic it is. She gives that grown and sexy. Thank you, Shady Price, because she does.
Shady with the if the price is right, talk to me nice.
And it goes, she's one of the best. I said what I said.
I said what I said.
I said what I said. So look at that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have mad fans, bro. Like, and I don't think you realize, like, I'm personally a fan. You know, Amber got one of the strongest voices ever. I'm like, why not? No, you really do, though. Are you aware of, like, how strong your voice is? And I think so. I love it. Like, it's so strong. It's, like, deep. You know, not everybody has that soul. Now, I want to talk about, like, in your experience, right? Mm-hmm. I want to know about how music and the dynamic of music has changed in this day and age, right? Because, like, I feel like music back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s is much different than music in 2024. Ooh, we're 24 now. Yeah, so in your opinion, like, have you seen the differences and, like, coming up as an artist or what?
I've seen the differences coming up as an artist, being a consumer since I was a kid to now. Definitely, I will say we have a lot of people that are giving us good music. Shout out to those people. We have a lot of people who are giving us music to pass time. We have a lot. I agree. I believe that the industry is a little oversaturated and whatnot. But I know a lot of people who can change that, who can turn that around. I give credit to what the music is that we have, you know, the music that's being put out by all the major artists and stuff. But people got a little bit of a short attention span when it comes to music. You can't give them as much as you used to give. Yeah. I can't make a 7-minute song. And
literally, I was just going to say that. Like Michael Jackson and Prince literally had like 7-minute songs. You know what I'm saying? People would listen to them in its entirety.
Songs, you know?
Now you get 7-second songs, and that's all they get. They really hear it.
And people are here for that, and they want to hear those 7 seconds repetitively. And it's not. I don't listen. It's nothing against. I think music still makes the world go round, but like the value of it, the hard work that goes into it gets very overlooked. And I think artists like myself and the people that I know, like, we just want the people. Like, I'll go into a studio and I'll be like, oh, I want the song to be, or not even out with the, like, not intentional at all. I'll make a song that may be like 4 or 5 minutes, and they'll question me, like, are you sure? You know, people don't pay attention. Well, they're going to pay attention.
No, for real.
I want them to pay attention.
I miss the songs that used to be like a good 5 minutes. And I feel like songs are like 2 minutes long.
2:20.
A minute. Yeah, like 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's like a minute and 30 seconds, like 90-second songs.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's where the change really comes in. And I feel like nowadays it's not even about talent. I feel like it's more about popularity. right? So the more people that know of you and you're more popular, like, then your songs are more likely to hit just because people want to see more of you. And, you know, and I feel like the talent is a little watered down, in my opinion, in 2024. I feel like everybody's just looking for a quick single.
Yeah, a quick single, or the labels are looking for a quick dollar. Like, you know,
that's another thing too.
If you could sell it, you could sell yourself. They're gonna take you up. But how long can you stand? Like, what's your foundation? Like, did you take the time to build that foundation so that when you get to where you're supposed to be, or where you think you want to be, or what's next, like, you stand on it. You don't have to worry about falling off, having that one hit.
Literally,
like, people are always gonna want to listen to you.
And I feel like that's so important to like artists, is to find out who you are and what you're doing and who you're trying to get your audience to, right? Because if you don't know who you are, and then you make out a song and then the record label all of a sudden suddenly changes you, now you lost who you are, now you don't want to make music anymore, you don't feel passionate about it anymore. Your
original fans are like, what happened to the old you?
What happened to the you know how they be like, we want the old Kanye, you know what I mean? We don't want people saying that. We want the old Amber Lee. Like, nah, Amber Lee is gonna stay Amber Lee.
I'm trying to give y'all timeless music so y'all can listen to it today,
literally,
in 10 years. When I made it, I just wanted to always be
right
something you could connect to.
So I think it's about time to go into a musical break. This is actually my favorite part of like the whole show, this show, because we are going to be airing 2 of Amber Lee's songs. So we're going to cut into a quick music break. You guys stay on, listen to these tracks because they're so incredibly dope. You will be hearing me singing on the live. So when we get right back, we're going to get into the successes and the struggles of becoming an artist.
You found the new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tany Talks Live. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Today is episode 5, and we're talking about becoming an artist. If you guys are just now tuning back in from the musical break, we just played 2 of one of my favorite songs from Miss Amber Lee, which was Private Party and what is it? Better Off. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, y'all. What I want to take the time to do right now is I want to do something a little special. And I know Amber is probably going to be like, girl, but I actually want her to give me a couple seconds of showing them off them vocals for real, live.
But I'll just do like a Jasmine Sullivan.
You guys want to hear what?
Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay, so she's going to do a cover, which I really want her to sing one of her songs. But let her do a cover because Jasmine Sullivan is actually big shoes to fill. So now I'm expecting Jasmine Sullivan
y'all like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, okay. Give us that 15-second reel real quick. All right, so she's about to say what you about to sing and sing it.
In Love with Another Man.
In Love with Another Man.
Probably just going to give y'all the first little couple of bars.
All right, go for it.
All right. If I could forget him, I would, please believe me. And I know that I should throw the towel in, but baby, it's not that easy. Hey, you treated me so much better than him, and if I was sane, there'd be no competition. But I'm in love with someone else.
Aww, shout outs to Ems. I love that. There is something else I wanted to talk about. So some things I want to talk about is the struggles and the successes of being like an artist. So I think let's go into the struggles, right? Like as an artist, what do you find hard?
Well, as an independent artist, because I have no management, no team, no label. My friends are my team. You are my team. I would consider you. But like with no, like I just have people around me who, give me a little bit of advice here and there. But the struggles about being an independent artist are definitely, working with a budget or, like I have to fund my own everything. So I got to eventually, I got to have a job, a 9-to-5, which I am a small business owner, by the way. So that's how I fund myself. It doesn't always cut it, but I'm getting things done. It's my budget. It's the planning. Sometimes I get really overwhelmed with just putting things into place on my own because I can't just be like, hey, could you shut that up over there? Or do you know somebody for this? I could do that, but I'm also a little bit of a control freak. And I definitely drive my friends crazy. They be like, girl, just do it. Like, you just got to drop. You just got to do this. You just got to do that. And I'm aware. Yeah. Like, I'm an overthinker. if I can't see it through the way I want to see it fit, I don't want to do it. And that hinders me sometimes, you know, like this is definitely being independent is a lot of struggles, but you know, you just got to like kick the door down.
So
make all that shit happen.
So,
stuff happen
do you find, and I have to ask this because you're a female, so this is about to get really nitty gritty. Do you find like men trying to take advantage of your opportunities as a female artist? Because I feel like, you know how they say things. I'm not an artist, but I would assume like, you know, a lot of artists, especially female artists, I feel like they have an advantage to where they could sleep their way to the top. You know, like do you men like have that. You ever experienced like something sketchy like that where it's like in exchange for blah blah blah?
All over the place. There's men all over. There's all types of men. There's men who act on it. There's men who don't. There's men who ask you to work for them for the sake of you just being in their presence. There's men who will try like, I just want
you around me because you're cute.
Yeah, exactly. There's things, but you know what? Not for nothing, y'all. I'm taking my opportunity. Right. I know how to put my foot down. So like you really can't come in here and just think you're gonna slide in like that because you're gonna get cut. And however you want to go about it after is on you. But you respect my craft, I respect yours. And as soon as you disrespect it, I have a right to go about it how I feel.
Right.
And that's probably not the best. I'm just speaking as an independent artist. If I had a manager, we would be like, you know, handle it this way, or I'd have them handle it. But like I handle myself. And as a woman in an industry full of men, especially older men, grown men, they definitely will try to take advantage of you. They'll definitely throw you in loops, or
because I hear stories of like, you know, other female artists, and they always like, oh, you know, I had like this experience where like someone was trying to take advantage, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's really unfortunate. I feel like maybe men in the industry too, they probably go through the same kind of
I've heard stories from men where they say like certain women will try them in certain ways but it would be in a way of like, I'm a female, you're a male, you're supposed to respect me. And it's like, realistically, no, we're all just humans and we're doing business. I don't have to. As soon as I feel uncomfortable, I could easily cut that off, you know? Like,
yeah. Do you ever feel like you lost an opportunity because you kept your foot down?
Nothing that mattered. Nothing that was important.
Thank God.
You feel me? Like, and honestly, even if I feel like anything that puts me in a space to feel like it's a tough space, or I gotta question you, or like you just make my process hard, it's automatically like I'm turned off. It's clipped.
So
you gotta go.
Would you say that like you have to, as a female in the industry in 2024, would you say like you have to have a strong like headset, like mind space?
I do believe you do. I think so. I just think overall, like you don't even gotta be like kicking in the doors, being aggressive, but like you most certainly have to assert yourself in a way where it's like, well, we're here for one thing. You only got me here. You only know who I am because I make music. You make music. Whatever the case is, you want to work or whatever, but like you have to be able to assert yourself.
Right.
If you fall into it, certain things can happen. You may be able to get out of it. You may not.
Yeah. Do you ever find like yourself slipping into the bad sections of the industry? Like what is that like? Because I know there's like lightness and darkness. Like have you experienced any like darkness within the industry? Like any like scary stuff?
Nothing that's scary. People will test you. People will test your patience. People will test your gangster.
Do you feel like women in the industry are nice to one another?
They can be. I don't really base it off of a gender role. Like I think energy speaks for itself in that case. Like I've come across women who are a girl's girl. I've come across women who say they're a girl's girl and act like they're a girl's girl, but you could feel that they're not a girl's girl. There's a bunch of different people in this industry. And that's why I don't gender role it, because I think everybody just comes with a certain set of energy. And also not everybody is for you and your path.
Right.
So you just got to know when to pick and pull, you know?
Yeah.
Like those type of people.
What other struggles would you say that you experience in the industry? Like, is it hard like finding studio time? Like, is it hard like collabing with people, like getting an engineer, getting it mixed and mastered? Like, how's that?
From my experience, I don't think anything is hard. Everything comes at a price.
Right.
Ultimately, if you make the connections and you network with people and you stand on what you're coming for, they'll see it through that way. They'll give you the time, or they'll make the space for you, or whatever. However it comes, some people give you discounts. Some people believe in you that much. Some people give you their space at a good price, but it's expensive. Mixing and mastering by far has to be one of the most expensive things I've had to come on. Like pricing, you know, everybody has their low prices, their high prices, but obviously you get what you pay for.
Right.
You feel me? So
that's something I feel like a lot of people don't understand too. Like you want exposure, you want like really good mixes and masters, like you want really good edits on your videos, like that costs, you know what I'm saying? And
it sure
you know, don't try to like lowball people, because then it's like you're gonna get lowball work. You know, so like
yeah, I've been there. I got my song mixed and mastered for $40, y'all. You can hear the difference between my first record that I paid $40 and my last record that I paid such an amount for, which y'all don't want to know because it was expensive. Either way, everything got out. Everybody loves it.
But you can hear the sound
But
quality.
You can hear it. I learned my lesson when it comes down to, I just want it done. Let me pay you real quick to no. Find the right person, pay the right price, find your balance, but like quality is gonna get you through. And granted, I think people still really love that song, but like I hear it now to this day, and I be like, oh, that's $40. I should have never spent.
So that was a $40 track. You know what I'm saying? That's so funny.
But I still thank you to everybody that still rock with that song because I don't listen to it no more.
Also, I just want to say, if you guys have any questions for Amber, this is your time to shine. Post in the live. Put a little comment or whatever. Anything you want to hear from Amber, any like candid fun stuff, put it in there. We will ask her, and if she feels like answering, she will. We love you. You're getting mad love on the chat, though. I'm not gonna lie. Talk about some of the fun stuff, though. Let's talk about the successes of being an artist. Like, what is the good side of being an artist? Like, what's the fun stuff? All the good, cool stuff.
The rewarding parts of it are like hearing your final product or seeing your final product. I won't lie. The whole hair and makeup thing, like it has it's like bittersweet. Like, it's still a process. Sometimes I gotta do it myself. Sometimes I gotta find somebody to do it. But like ultimately it's like, oh my God, I get to have my makeup done. I get to go and look like a bed.
So that feels good, right?
It does feel good.
We love
the reward of getting everything done after stressing everything out is definitely like a good feeling.
I did hear from another artist that I had interviewed that he mentioned the same thing where he's like, the best part is hearing your songs, hearing yourself when it's done.
Okay, now I'm going to speak for myself. And I know a few people who are like this, but when I make music, I don't drop it immediately.
Okay.
It usually takes me a couple months. So I'm listening to that song every day, a couple times a day.
Do you ever find yourself going back and like re-editing it? Like, I don't like it.
I try. Okay, so I am like that. I'm a very, very hard critic on myself. I will go back a million times and my friends will be like, just stop. Like, just stop.
It's good.
I tell my friends all the time, pack me up. If you need to pack me up and I'm doing too much, I may fight you on it. But like, if you know me, you know better. Like, girl, I want to give you guys quality over quantity.
Right.
I would prefer you guys to have more in a song than to have more songs that have less to them.
I feel that. And that's actually something I've never actually heard of. She likes to put out quality more than quantity. So that means like she might not have 25 songs in the repertoire, but those top 5 songs is quality, timeless classics. Like,
right.
And I always say that, like, we were just talking about Private Party. Yeah. And I'm like, Private Party, I feel like will never, ever, ever, ever go out of style. That is such a song that you can play in any timeline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could make that an old school vibe. Like, yeah, I could see Private Party being like a new cool song that comes out, but then also being an old school
like barbecue, family barbecue.
John, like,
I got a clean version, y'all.
Yeah, like it's I feel like that's just like timeless music. So I feel like continue with that and continue to be someone who prefers quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she says, I still don't let her pack it up. Sis will redo a song for 6 months for real.
And guess what? Y'all gonna listen to it for 60 million years, okay?
But tell me some more, like, what are your success stories from making music? Like, what are some really cool things that you got an opportunity to do?
An opportunity?
Because I think of one thing that I think of that I feel like was a really dope opportunity for you was to work along with one of our good friends, Black Pearl, and helping him.
Shout out to Black Pearl.
Co-write one of his songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that should be dropping this year. As far as my songwriting goes,
let's talk about songwriting.
There's a lot of things coming this year as far as the things that I worked on and put a lot of work into last year where I was like laying low. I'm sorry, I'm very inty.
Yeah.
Laying low on the artistry sense and like putting my best foot forward as a writer so that eventually one day from my mouth to God's ears, I can make the money I see fit, or make the money that's good enough for me to like work on my artistry or fund that or fund my marketing campaigns or whatever it is I need. But shout out to Black Pearl. Shout out to Ali Caldwell.
Shout out to the whole squad.
Disney and Micah. I've got a couple of records with
Disney,
a couple of people.
We love you, Disney.
Okay.
Shout out to Souls too. Shout out to the whole
shout
squad.
out to Dahlia, Nicole. All these people in my circle that are really influential to me as an artist, as a writer. We got A Day in the Life, Akil J, all the goods. Shout out to those two because we're actually dropping a project and they are a really big part of this next stage of my artistry. And they put me in a place where like I've been dying to like find this spot, and I knew they would be the right people for it. But
right. Well, let's talk more about that next step. Tell me more. What does this next step look like for you? Like, where do you see the next steps, and not only the next steps, but the future steps, like in 5 years from now? So I want to know about the next steps, the short-term goals and the long-term goals of your artistry.
So right now, I haven't dropped a record, and this year will make 3 years. Private Party being my last record. Everybody's like, girl, like, what's taking you so long? And honestly, like, I was in every artist can say they've experienced that time where they were either questioning things or just trying to figure things out or figure out what's next or how to do it, or even a lot of us artists have that day where it's like, oh, this is a lot. Like, it can be a lot. It can knock you down some days. Some days it picks you up. So it's an emotional roller coaster for sure. But right now, my plan is just to keep dropping consistently, at least every other month or so.
That's good.
Features.
Because I always see you like in the studios. I'm always seeing you like doing these writing camps with Disney. And I'm like always feeling so good when I hear like, you're like, oh, I'm in the studio. I booked a session and I got a writing camp I got to do. Because it's like, this girl really works hard. Like, and I don't think a lot of people like, I'm like almost like about to tear up. I don't know why. But like, I feel like, no, for real though, Amber, like I always see you like really working hard and like helping people songwrite, and like you show mad love. And I feel like, you know, you're deserving of this platform. And I feel like as a fan of yours, I have been waiting for you to drop like some new stuff. So I really just can't wait. So in the future, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I say because, you know, Jasmine Sullivan is a singer, but also a songwriter. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't know that Jasmine Sullivan has wrote for some of the biggest artists of all time, like Beyonce and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I see you being like her, where it's like, I'm one of the best songwriters out right now. But not only that, but I could sing too. No, I could sing. And she don't sing, y'all. Y'all know what we say. She could sing. She sang.
And honestly, I haven't really thought that through because I still got to get through this year to figure out what I got left. But I mean, ultimately, I just plan on dropping music, dropping projects, making as many connections as possible, meeting up with the right people. And hopefully these song placements fall through the way I would like them to. These artists that I'm working with are doing the work. All these songs are getting put out on platforms, on stages that I never imagined hearing myself as a songwriter. Certain songs would be on, like Allie Caldwell just debuted some of our songs at the Apollo Theater.
Shout outs to
and Allie. I wasn't even the one singing up there, but I was in there. I was in the
like,
Apollo.
That's my jam. That's
so
my
much
song.
so that the Apollo page itself caught me in the middle of the Apollo Theater dancing to her songs, and I was the only one standing up. But like, it just was a good feeling. Yeah. Like, we really sat in 10 to 12 hour sessions, at least 4 of them, to get these songs done. And we worked day to night, locked in the studio, barely knew what the sun was looking like. And for it to be, they're not out yet. They should definitely be coming out this year. But like, that was a great
moment,
great
a success
moment
for you.
But as far as all this goes, I can't even realistically tell you what specifically I want or where I want to be in 5 years. I just now want this to all
I'll tell you what,
and pay off.
Like, I see the Jasmine Sullivan in you. You know what I mean?
I see myself in different spaces, higher places, better days.
Yeah.
Easier, you know, because, you know, like I said, like I'm an independent artist, but I still fund myself. So I have to make time for life, for work, for living, for eating, for just making sure as a human being, I'm okay. Like, my mental health comes into play some days.
Oh my gosh.
It affects my writing. It affects my craft. Certain days I feel like, oh my God, is this all going to be worth it? Am I doing this for nothing? But ultimately my goal is to be able to make music despite me being famous or not.
Right.
Is to have the ability to make music as long as I'm breathing and walking on this earth, you know?
God bless.
So like the fame and the success is cool. It's a plus, but like, if I ever lost my gift, I'd be nothing. And that's how I see it.
Oh my gosh. That's so
deep. Like, I'm serious. If I ever lost my ability to sing, like, take me out.
Take me out. I'm going.
Real. I'm going.
No, if I couldn't speak, take me out too.
Right. You know,
take me out. I don't want to be here if I can't talk. I like talking. I want to speak. I need people to hear me, you know? Anything you want to share with the people, or the people want to share with Amber?
To everybody that came, thank you for hyping me up. As always, y'all are my hype men.
Yes.
To the new people who are here, welcome. There's a lot in store. stay tuned. I promise it's worth it.
And the topic for today is becoming an artist. So I wanted to thank you guys so much for tuning in to Tany Talks Live. You guys tune in next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.